Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing a 2028 United States presidential election prediction between Senator Raphael Warnock and Vice President J.D. Vance. So we are going to start off with the safe states for both Raphael Warnock and J.D. Vance. And for Warnock, that will be Washington, Oregon, California, Hawaii, Colorado, Illinois, New York, Vermont, Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, D.C., Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Maine's 1st Congressional District. And J.D. Vance will have Montana, Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska's 3rd District, Nebraska at large, Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, South Carolina, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Indiana. And so as you can see, this puts Raphael Warnock at 177 electoral votes and J.D. Vance at 122. And it looks like Raphael Warnock has quite an advantage as of right now, but once we do these likely states, we will see that J.D. Vance will get the advantage. And so for Warnock, likely states are New Mexico, Virginia, New Jersey. And for J.D. Vance, it will be Iowa, Ohio, Florida, Texas, Alaska. And we can see that the likely states that J.D. Vance gets, like Florida and Texas, give him a big boost in the electoral votes. He's got about an 8-point lead right now. So now if we move on to the lean states, for Warnock, that will be Minnesota, and Harris won Minnesota by 4.2 percentage points in 2024, and I do not think that's going to shift much, so we are going to keep that as a lean state. And then New Hampshire will be a lean state for the Democrats, which Harris won by almost 3% in 2024. And I do not think this is going to become a likely state because New Hampshire is a very white state. They do not have many black or minority voters, which Raphael Warnock will do very well among those voters, but New Hampshire does not have many. And then I have Maine at large. Again, Maine is a very white state, so that's why I think the margin will be lean towards the Democrats. And then for the Republicans, we have Maine's 2nd District, and for Raphael Warnock, we have Nebraska's 2nd District, and J.D. Vance will get Nebraska's 1st District. And Maine and Nebraska are the only 2 states in which the electoral votes are split up by the state at large and the congressional districts. So this puts Raphael Warnock at 226 electoral votes and J.D. Vance at 219. And now we have our 7 battleground states that you are all familiar with: Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. And we are going to start on the West Coast with Nevada and Arizona. If we look at our 2024 election map, Trump won Arizona by 5.5 percentage points, and that was a very big win for Trump in Arizona because that flipped it to a likely state, which is almost kind of crazy. But I think Democrats are going to gain a little bit of support in Arizona because some of the deportation stuff is not very popular, but I do think Republicans are going to win this again by a lean margin. And then in Nevada, Trump won this by 3 percentage points in 2024, so I think it will be closer than it was in 2024. I think Republicans will hold this Nevada by a tilt margin. And now we are going to go to Raphael Warnock's home state of Georgia. Trump won Georgia in 2024 by about 2 percentage points, but it is Raphael Warnock's home state, and he is very popular among black voters, and Georgia has lots of black voters. So I think Raphael Warnock wins Georgia by a lean margin. And then in North Carolina, Trump won this by 3 points in 2024, but again, North Carolina has a lot of black voters and I think they will like Raphael Warnock, so I think Democrats are going to flip North Carolina by a tilt margin. And now we are going to go over to Wisconsin. Wisconsin was the closest swing state in 2024. Trump won it by less than a point, but I think Wisconsin being a very white state, I don't think they are going to swing much to Raphael Warnock, but I do think Raphael Warnock will flip it back to the Democrats by a very small margin, a tilt margin. And then in Michigan, we have Detroit, which has lots of black voters, and I think that will carry Raphael Warnock to victory here by a lean margin, and that will actually give him the presidency at 283 electoral votes. But we still have one state to go, which is Pennsylvania, and this is a relatively white state, but I think Democrats are going to be able to gain traction in Pennsylvania, especially with it being close to Washington, D.C., where many of the layoffs happened and job cuts. So I think Raphael Warnock will flip Pennsylvania back to the Democrats by a tilt margin. And here is our map. We have Raphael Warnock at 302 electoral votes and J.D. Vance at 236 electoral votes. And of course, Raphael Warnock being from Georgia and being close to North Carolina will definitely help among these two swing states, and because he's very popular among black voters. And then I think these blue wall states, Rust Belt states, will flip back to the Democrats in 2028, but I almost think Arizona especially may be too far gone for the Democrats. I mean, Trump won it by almost 6 points in 2024, and Nevada will continue to be a swing state. And that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, and please comment. I would love to hear your thoughts.